Hey everybody, it is Deanna with tools of energyprotection.com, your energy shift expert and Akashic Records advisor. How's everyone doing? I have some wonderful news for you tonight. Please stay tuned because I'm going to share with you, are we in Armageddon or are we in Ascension Symptoms? It is so important to know where we're at in this time and space. And so if you're watching live, I'm going to ask you to share the video with other highly sensitive people and empathic people that you know. And if you are watching the recording, please do like and share. If you're on YouTube, on the YouTube channel, please like and share as well, because that will help get the ratings up, and then we can get more and more people to understand what's happening in time and space and where we are in reality right now. So how many of you out there are so tired of the world scene? If it's not this, it's that. If it's not that, it's this. And then we've got 10 million things going on all at the same time. And a lot of things that are appearing to us really aren't what they appear. And one of the biggest challenges that we have right now, well, I should say there's a lot of big challenges, but one of the challenges that I'm noticing right now is that gas prices. Are you kidding me? I mean, seriously, people. I'm going to get up last week. If you missed my video, scroll down here on Facebook or YouTube, because I kind of let the cat out of the bag. I don't usually get very political, but I had something to say. I'm going to say it again. And then I'm going to tell you about how you can really, truly know what's going on behind the scenes, because a lot of folks have been asking me, you know, Deanna, is it Armageddon? Or are we having ascension symptoms for people and the planet? And how do I know what's going on? So I have two ways that you can absolutely know what's going on without a shadow of a doubt. And I'm going to share both of those with you in just a moment. But I would like to begin with, though, is gas prices. Are you kidding me? And that's a nice way of putting it. So I want you to think about this, people. Think about this. We really do not have a gas shortage in this country, period. But if you create a gas shortage, then everybody will say, oh, please frack. Please take the oil and gas out from underneath where I live so that the whole country can share in it. No. What they're doing is they're taking oil and gas out from underneath the land on a lie. And if for whatever reason, people in the United States got tired of what was going on and decided to, you know, just camp in their own little states, and they couldn't have any oil or gas because all their reserves are being taken out now and stored somewhere else. It's just a way to create more dependency, people. Hello, wake up. And I know I probably just lost a few followers and a few angry people saying that woman doesn't know what she's talking about. Okay, yes, I do. And if you want to know how, here's how. There are two different ways that I actually know what's happening, what's going on. It's not what they're telling you. It's not what's in the news. It's not what they're selling you and you're, you know, readily buying, but it's the truth. And what it is there's a frequency of truth. There's a resonance of truth. And when you feel it, you know it. Here's the simplest way. How many of you out there have ever walked into a room and you felt like something was wrong and you exited as soon as you could? That's a feeling. That's being able to sense things. That's being able to know things. That's being able to understand things. Here's another very simple example. How many of you have gut instinct out there? Raise your hand, give me a smiley face, give me a thumbs up, let me know you're out there. How many of you out there have had a gut instinct or a gut feeling and you just know something isn't right and your gut's all tight? How do you think that is? How do you know? How do you know what that is? That's your human body responding to what your spiritual self that's also inside your body is sensing. That's your danger signal. That's your spidey sensory perception, although it's not really extra. So what's happening is your spirit self is inside the physical body and it fills out the space about the size of a giant letter T. If you stretch your arms out and you turn in a circle, That's your personal energy field, and it senses things and it brings it back to your body, and your body processes it, and you know there's a danger signal. So in that way, you know what is truth and what is not. But if you were unable to use that, and you're just starting to learn, and you're just starting to have that knowledge, then I am going to share with you a way that I've been using to intuit for over 15 years, and it works. And that's how a lot of times I know the truth, the love, and the light. I know what I'm seeing isn't real, it isn't right, and there's something behind it, an agenda. And I will call those people the ambiguous. If I want to know who they are, I'd rather just stay off their radar and not say anything. So again, here we go. Please give a like, thumbs up, share the video if you're watching this live or later, because I'm going to start stirring it up and taking it up a notch, because it's time for you all to know that a lot of what you're seeing going on in the world scene isn't right. And then they're telling people stuff that they think they'll accept willingly, so that they'll do it. And they'll like, yep, we're going to do this because, you know, this is great. You know, here, this person says it's great, and it's for our best good, and sure, yeah. I've learned one thing being involved with sociopathic and narcissistic people, and that is they will tell you what they want you to believe. And they'll do it in such a way where they get inside your mind and they give you just enough of the truth that you accept and swallow. And then before you know it, the whole hook's in there and you're being reeled in. How many of you can relate to that? Can you give me a thumbs up? Can you give me a smiley face? Let me know you're out there, even if you're watching later, okay? So here is another surefire way for you to know what the truth is. Oh, a bunch of thumbs up, thank you. Okay, that helps me emotionally to know we're doing good. If you feel so moved to do so, you can hit the stars. That's for people that aren't, you know, actively having sessions and stuff like that. They just wanted a way to give back, so I added stars down here below for Facebook, not so much for YouTube. Okay, and if you think I'm full of it, or if you think I'm right on, feel free to put a comment down below. I've been having more and more people comment on the YouTube channel. Thank you for that. Okay, you want to know how to know the truth? You want to know how that I can see what's really happening and not be swallowing the poop, so to speak? It's called a pendulum. It's called dowsing, water witching, okay? Water witching, usually you have two L rods that you hold up, but it's called dowsing. So here's a very short, free bit of information for you. This is a pen. You're like, yeah, Deanna, we know that. This is a pendulum. If you know how to take the pen and make certain marks on a piece of paper, then your human eyes look at it and recognize it as letters and or numbers, and that they have a sound or frequency value which string along into a word which you hear, and then you have an idea in your head. Oh, that's what that is. Now, arbitrarily, do you know what that letter R, you know, if you saw it somewhere, or A, or if you've ever looked at a foreign language and you can't read it, it's not because you're illiterate, it's because you don't know that language. So what am I saying? This pendulum is a tool. This pen is a tool. This helps to communicate, and so does this. And there's really no difference between the two. So what happens is, this is something heavy on a string or on a chain in this case. And what happens is that you bring the information in from spirit, God, or source, the universe, or you bring it up from Earth Mother in the case of people that are water witching. And that same signal that we were talking about earlier comes into your body and in your consciousness. Mostly it's just your consciousness. And then your consciousness sends a signal down the arm, through the hand, and moves the pendulum and points to answers that you might have written on a page. Or it works with numbers. And that's a very basic way to start intuiting. You can use it to invest. You can put out different stocks you're thinking about buying and see which one's going to go up, which one's going to go down. You can actually use a number chart or numbers on a page and ask, show me how many months until the gas prices go down. I can almost guarantee you it'll be at the end of summer vacation, because the ambiguous they that didn't get their money for the 2 years while COVID shut the entire world down and they weren't making sales, they lost a bunch of money. They decided they wanted to get their money back. So did they raise their prices right away? Oh no, they waited before summer vacation and then they raised the prices up. Duh, because people are going to travel and they're tired of COVID and they want to get out and they want to drive somewhere and have a good time. And they're willing to pay that higher price. And those guys are just cha-ching, 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 hauling in the money. You don't believe me? You know how to dowse? Ask questions. You will get correct answers this way. I'm sorry, what? Oh, yes. Okay. So my guides were saying some of you don't know how to get correct answers, or you've worked with a pendulum and it's never worked for you before. And you don't understand, how to get clear answers. That's no problem. So usually around the July 4th weekend, I like to take 4 days off and maybe go to the lake and be in the sunshine and the fun. But I thought about this July 4th coming up and the freedom that we should be enjoying in this country that we haven't enjoyed for a couple of years. So that freedom is the right to be able to live in an environment that is safe for you, that you can prosper in, that you can have a business in and see it thrive, that you can get a job and, raise a family and all that. And right now, a lot of us aren't psychologically feeling well because of all the trauma for the past 2 years. I'm going to try not to be too long on here tonight. Anyway, if this is resonating with you, if you can give me a thumbs up, let me know you're out there. Let me know how you're feeling, please, so that I can see it. Anyway, so the dowsing. When you're using a pendulum to intuit, again, you're pulling the information in from the divine, from universal consciousness, traveling down your arm, and then going into the pendulum, telling you yes or no, okay? Or pointing to things you have written on the page. And so for the last couple of years, because of COVID, I have taught this class online. And many of my beautiful students and clients are like, oh, Deanna, I love to be with you. I feel the energy when I'm around you. I feel so much better when I'm around you. I really want to come learn from you in person. So I'm going to be taking 2 days out of the July 4th weekend to spread freedom. So if you would like to learn how to use a pendulum, get correct answers, feel that vibration. I just taught one this last Saturday at the For Heaven's Sakes bookstore. And I had 12 students. They're supposed to be 15, but a couple of them couldn't make it. And every one of those students that was using the pendulum and I was teaching could feel the difference in the energy when they were working with the pendulum. And they could experience in real time getting answers right at that exact moment. Because we started working with something they knew, like their age, and then we worked into something they didn't know, like things I have in containers. So what I'm saying to you is that it's easy and effortless for you to learn. So on July 3rd, I am going to be having a class in Loveland, Colorado in person. For those of you who've been going, I want to come take an in-person class. And it's from 1 o'clock in the afternoon until 2:30. When you register, I will send you the address to my office so that you can come and join us between 1:30 and 2:30. Because it's at my office, I only have space for about 9 students. So if you go to toolsofenergyprotection.com and click on the dowsing class at the top, you'll be able to register. And it's not very much because I was like, well, people want their gas money too. So I made it very reasonable. You'll have to bring your own pendulum though. When the class starts, we're going to learn how to intuit. We're going to learn how to ask questions and receive correct answers. And how does that feel in the body? And how do you know? All right. Next. I'm going to look at the questions here, just a few, to see if any of you have questions. And then next, I'm going to talk to you about a second tool that will help you to feel more centered during these times, more balanced during these times. It'll raise your frequency so that you're pulling to you more positive experiences during these times and bringing more positive people to you, because these times we're going through now, and especially over the next 4 years, wherever your frequency is, that's who you're going to draw to yourself. So the more positive that you are, the more connected in your ascension that you are, the less you're going to feel the Armageddon-like energies. Still got to live here, but it's going to be less, and you're going to be happier because your heart will be pure and centered. And there's a tool for that. It's not the dowsing one. There's a second one, and I'll tell you about it in a minute. But I'd like to go over and say hello to a few people. So again, we're talking about, is this Armageddon or Ascension? And how do you know? So that's the conversation we're having tonight. All right, hi to Diana, and hi to Paul. Hey, Paul, happy Tuesday to you too. Hello, Keith. Let's see. Paul says the gas has been pumped out and sold overseas. I don't doubt it. But what I do know is that they're taking it away so that if we left or we did something different and tried to tap our own resources underneath each one of our own states, they just simply wouldn't be there. All right. Hello, Tanya. Hey, good to see you. Thanks for sharing. Hey, Amy, Kelly. Hi. Good to see both of you. Shannon, good to see you. Robin, what's happening? Let's see here. Thank you, Tanya, for your comment that you've known me and I'm always spot on. Thank you, Tanya. It's challenging these days. Hi, Rex. Good to see you. Hi, Jeff. Shannon agrees. Jeff, it's so good to see you. I hope your radio broadcast is going well. And Tanya says, I've been stuck in the mud for several months. Yes, so feeling it. Okay, and Mara. Hi, Mara. Good to see you. So Tanya, if you've been stuck, come over and join me for the dowsing class. That'll really help you to move forward. And like I said, I priced it super, super low because I knew people were paying for gas prices. And this is in person, and you can come and let my angels work with you for a while and feel that higher level vibration, that yumminess, you know, like in sessions. Okay. So my guides are telling me I need to hurry along. So the next thing, this is the big enchilada. So I got this information from my guides, and I usually journal everything I get from them so I don't forget, and it's more about timing than anything else. But I was looking at when they had given me this information about the high-pitched frequency, okay? And so the high-pitched frequency, they started telling me about this information back in May 27th of 2021. So for those of you out there that are hearing this high-pitched whine in your ears, a high-pitched frequency, and again, if you know anybody that's highly sensitive or empathic, please share this video. The chances are there are more empaths out there and starseeds than I can possibly reach in my marketing that are hearing the high-pitched whine and the twill, and they desperately need training. Because that, ladies and gentlemen, is the manna from heaven. So I'm not talking about the little tiny whine that'll come on for maybe 3 or 4 seconds to a minute. It's just, you know, really super high and goes away. Not that one. This is more one like stays with you all day, maybe several hours, has gotten stronger with the energy shifts. You'll notice the energy shifts that are going on in the planet. The bigger the shift, the higher the frequency, or the longer the duration of the frequency. And this happened a couple of nights ago. I just couldn't sleep because the Schumann's resonance was off the chart. And what that is the frequency of meditation. It's between 0 and 5 hertz. It's lower than the resting brain. That's the one that monks and other like Native American shaman would try to reach for years, and sometimes they'd be, you know, really old elderly people before they finally achieved it. And now it's being given freely to this planet, freely. That high-pitched whine resonance, anybody hearing it out there, give me a thumbs up. Click like on the YouTube channel. But it's a high-pitched whine, a twill. And if you go to toolsofenergyprotection.com and click on the tab of high-pitched whine training, there's some samples you can listen to say, yep, that's me. And so when I was given that information, my guides told me that within that high-pitched whine, there are downloads. A lot of you've already received them. There are physical and emotional adjustments. So this is literally the manna for highly sensitive people, empaths and starseeds, to plug into that, to understand what you're receiving. A lot of you, high-pitched whine, I see on Facebook a lot of posts within a certain group, and they don't know what to do with it consciously. Now, subconsciously, there is self-preservation there and your soul connects to it. But how much more powerful would it be if you knew what it meant? That you knew that there were physical body changes going on and your diet was going to change. And then it was being supported and your DNA is changing and you're getting upgraded and up-leveled. And through the lunar eclipses, especially, and some of the solar eclipses. And so you're getting these upgrades, these realm upgrades, so that you can ascend to the higher levels. You can ascend to the 5th dimension. Okay. So that's spirit energy, there's Arcturian energy, there's physical energy, and it just depends on what day it is and what we're going through. And if you're more consciously aware of what's going on, it makes it a lot easier to walk through this pea soup right now, to feel the throes of the ascension. In the Bible, in the New Testament, it talks about a woman, like a woman in childbirth. And for those of you men, you might ask your wives or your girlfriends what that's like. But it's a bearing down and your body just goes to push that child out. And then it relaxes and then it pushes and it relaxes. And it doesn't care anything about the rest of your body. It just has a mission and it is painful. And it starts off slow and gets faster. So these transitions, these kind of times, these things you're seeing on this planet are going to go faster. And the pain is going to get more real if you're not connected in or if you don't know how to intuit. You want to know? You want to take a dowsing class? Then come join me in Loveland. Okay, that's going to be on July 3rd from 1 to 2:30. I'll send you the address once you're registered. Then on July 5th, the day after July 4th, on July 5th, again in Loveland at my office, I'm going to train you personally with the high pitch frequency. We're going to go through 3 different exercises. You can find them at toolsofenergyprotection.com. Click on the link. Everything's there. I've kept the prices extremely low to help you out. Okay. I could be charging, a couple $100 easily for these classes, but I would rather that you be with me, that you get trained, that you understand, that you become part of the collective of empaths, highly sensitive people, starseeds, light workers. You can be totally and completely spiritually aware, but if your human body isn't aware, how can you utilize these things to help yourself to relieve some of the stress and anxiety that we're going through? There's so much mental illness going on right now. Please don't let that be you. Please don't. Come and join me for one of these 2 classes. You're going to feel so much better. You're going to feel empowered. You're going to take your power back. And if you're hearing that ringing in your ears, it's really cool because once you learn how, you can tune in once, twice, 3 times a day. It's amazing. Some of my students tell me when they tuned into the frequency and they were guided, they could see things. They could see their guides. Some people could see into the future. Some people could feel their body shifting and healing. And some of the folks that had disease for a long period of time, all of a sudden they did the high pitch whine tuning in that I teach you how, and they could feel their bodies healing. It's amazing what we can unlock. Please help me share this word. It's so super important. I don't want anybody to feel lost or left behind or abandoned. And God's Spirit Source loves each and every one of you. That's why you were put here in this time at the age you are now to help the world ascend. All right, I'm gonna look and see if we have any more questions, any more comments. Let's see here. Let's see what we've got. Let's see here. Robin said, I had a spirit standing next to me and looking down at me, woke up and I wonder who it was. Oh, Robin, that's probably one of your guardian angels or somebody looking after you. That's awesome. All right, my lovelies, both classes are posted on toolsofenergyprotection.com. And if you're like, well, you know, that's great, I'll come see you in person, you know, get a hug, that's fine. But if you're like, no, I want the full enchilada, I want it all. If you really want training for the next year, and we'll still be around, don't worry, to know how to connect into your spirit guides, how to understand what your spiritual gifts are, how to use your spiritual gifts, how to hone your spiritual gifts. It's a succinct school that I put together, an academy. There's no other academy like this in the entire world, nowhere. Because people hodgepodge, I'm gonna learn this, I'm gonna learn this, and then they can't, you know, put it all together and they get confused. This is not a time for confusion. This is a time for clarity and to pick your bootstraps up and walk as a spiritual, divine being that you are. Get up off your spiritual butt, claim your power back, and understand that you are here to shed light into this world and not cower in a corner because some jerk has decided to do bad things to this planet, or jerks plural. They are trying to keep us in fear. They're trying to wear us down so that we'll all go, oh, we'll do whatever and please hand me some food. That's where they're headed. And if you want to keep that, then you go ahead. But I'm not going there. I'm ascending. And I'm asking all of you to join with me. If you don't like my teaching style, but you're just hearing me talk, then go find a teacher that appeals to you. One that can teach you with a high-pitched whine, is teaching you, telling you, supporting you. Nowhere else on the internet is that being taught. People are talking about it, but nobody's teaching you how to tap into it. I'm sure after a while there'll be some more because I know God just doesn't give to only one person. But I'm telling you, there are great things to be learned and great things to be shared. And as soon as you learn them, you're going to feel better. And who knows, maybe you'll teach too, and so on. That's how things spread. And we need to spread this light right now, especially. I hope you'll join me. I love all of you. I'm sending big hugs and kisses to everybody. Stay strong. The strength is in faith, and faith means no fear. No fear. Capiche? All right. Have a great and wonderful night. Love you all bunches, and I hope to see you in one of my classes coming up. Have a good night.